I try to deny it for so long. I try to tell myself, no, it just can't be true. You're not a One Piece fan. But yes, the fuck I am. I'm such a big One Piece fan at this point. I might just reread the bitch. Like, I have so much extra time to read 1,000, 200. I don't know how many chapters we're at right now, but I'm reading that shit every fucking Sunday. Now, we need to go ahead and just definitively make this an F tier. Now, if you haven't caught up in the manga, there are things that I'm going to talk about, or in the anime, or if you just, want to use this as your thought to get into One Piece, by all means, go ahead and you do that. However, we are going to go ahead and just get into it. Now, obviously, S, A, B, C, and then F. There's probably one or two that go into S, or F rather. And then we're just going to go on from there. I might include some pictures of specific things, but I'm definitely going to give my objective opinion. Now, these are not facts. However, I basically spit facts. So if you want to think about it, these are, but this isn't like 100% like factual tier list. I don't have rankings. This is just what I like. Okay. These are my opinions because y'all get a little bent out of shape. These are my opinions. I've never been wrong though, but these are still my opinions. Now we're going to go ahead and just get started. We have Romance Dawn. Episodes 1 through 3. I didn't even know they had the episodes, but that's really funny. You meet Zoro, right? You get Nami. You meet Nami. You fight for the first time. You meet Kobe. You meet Luffy. Sorry. Also, I'm really bad with names, so if I forget any of these names, mind your business. You meet all of these great characters, great start to an amazing story. There's no way this isn't S tier. All right. Now in Orangetown, you fight against Buggy, or Luffy fights against Buggy. I don't know why I said you. Zoro fights against the guy on the tricycle, I believe, with who fights the other guy? I don't remember. I think he gets jumped by the lion too. Who knows? I don't really remember what happens in terms of the fights, but it was the first like big look at, oh, these are character designs that you kind of have to get ready for. So I can't put it more than C, mainly because of those two characters. And that's like gonna be something that changes along these lines. However, I don't know. This one really, I almost quit. Where is it? In Syrup Village, I have to put it in F tier. Now, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. You meet Usopp, and Usopp's some people's favorite characters. Not fucking mine. I quit One Piece 3 times because of Usopp's big fucking nose. If there's one thing I like, it's incredible designs. And One Piece has very extreme, just look at this man, very extremely questionable designs, and I couldn't really fuck with it. However, I did grow into, One Piece and understanding the designs and why certain designs happen the way that they do. However, I couldn't do it in the beginning, and that is why Syrup Village is in F tier. And I don't really like this dude. He's not cool, in my opinion. The two cat brothers that he has still aren't cool. It was just mid. It was just fucking mid. They do get the Going Merry there, so that's like kind of cool. But aside from that, nothing really in this arc I care about. Now we have the Barati. This is where you meet Sanji. This is where Luffy says, you know what? I'm him. I punch shields that have spikes. I do not care. Don Krieg got fucked. However, there was one guy that kind of just really ticked me off. The guy that Sanji fed, and then he's like, hey, I still gotta fuck you up though. Like, bro, what? Anyways, that is a B tier. Now, Arlong Park. The moment in Arlong Park is when Nami asked Luffy for help. This is an S tier arc 100%. Then we have Lowtown. This is where you see Smoker. This is where, if I'm not mistaken, Luffy almost gets, what is it? He almost gets killed. I was going to say decapitated. What is it? Executed? There it is. And then he gets saved by Dragon, so that's cool. And then you finally meet Dragon to a degree. We still don't really know anything about Dragon. And that was actually really cool. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't crazy. Buggy's Crew Adventure Chronicles. This is, if I'm not mistaken, some of the only filler that's in One Piece. Because I know, One Piece is mainly not filler, which is crazy to me. But I don't care much for Buggy at this moment in time, right? I don't really care for Buggy. Now, Reverse Mountain. This is with Laboon, which is one of the in my opinion, saddest stories in all of One Piece. Now, I look, it's a whale, right? I get it. But like look at how much he was hitting against that. Yo, man, thinking about it right now is like tugging at the heartstrings. I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Now we have Whiskey Peak, Alabasta. So this is all part of the. Oh wait, what? Is this correct? Yes, because Chopper went to Alabasta. Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Now, Whiskey Peak is when Zoro kind of move faster than a lot of these people, and they kind of get chased along, their routes. However, I really didn't. I didn't think much of it. I didn't really like this character. I don't think you get introduced to Vivi here, although Vivi's also with this guy all the time. But it's probably just about a C. This might also be a little bit of filler. So we're just going to put that in F. I don't really... Actually, is this where Kobe gets his glow up? Because when Kobe glows up, I'm like, hey, yo. He goes from this ugly, like, peanut-shaped boy to this man. And I don't know. It was kind of cool. Little Garden is when they fought Mr. 3. I believe the Paint Girl and somebody else. And then Zoro struck that pose, which was really funny. However, I don't really care for it all too much. Drum Island... Incredible story. One of the saddest stories in One Piece. One Piece definitely has some sad stories, but this one really tugged at the heartstrings. It's where you meet Chopper. Nami's almost sick, and they're like, hey, you know what? We need a doctor. And boom, this reindeer is there. And I really like Chopper's character from, then on. Although I feel like they're downplaying Chopper a lot, but we're going to talk about that, when we talk about it. Alabasta, you meet Crocodile. You once again get encountered with Smoker. You meet Robin, Miss All Sunday. It's great. Luffy loses and then he wins as one does. I think it's an A tier. Jaya, this is before Skypiea. This is when this guy starts fucking up Luffy and he's like, hey, you a bitch. And then Luffy's like, whatever, you can hit me, I don't care. This is where you meet Blackbeard. This is where you figure out about Sky Island. And Luffy's like, let's just go. And everybody's like, you can't go there. And he's like, I do what I want. I really don't like Bellamy's character, but I do like what this stands for in the story. Enel had a raw moment, or Sanji had a raw moment against Enel, and he was like, hey, just light me up real quick, big homie. So that was really cool. I really don't like Skypiea, if I'm being honest. The fight with Luffy and Enel wasn't necessarily the coolest, in my opinion. Yeah, Luffy kind of hit that, where he just stopped thinking, and it was all motor instincts, but it can't go higher than B. I think me giving this B is generous. Now, the Davy Beck fight. What? There's so much that I can say against this. I hated all of it. I hate this guy's character. I just hated the fact that this was a thing. It disgusts me. All right, we're just gonna skip past that. However, Water 7, yo. Everything, we're not even going to talk about it. Water 7 goes crazy. This is where you meet Frankie. This is where Usopp gets fucking jumped. This is where Usopp fights Luffy. And then he's like, hey, we not fucking with it. Everything because of a boat. And don't get me wrong, like, I get it. Usopp was like, hey, without this boat, y'all don't really fuck with me for real. And he could have just talked to the gang. And he didn't. He a bitch. Annie's lobby. Equally just as high as Water 7, if not higher, if I'm being completely honest with you. Because this is where Luffy fights against Rob Lucci, the leopard guy. And then everybody just goes crazy. You see Monster Point for the first time. Zoro fights against the giraffe, which is a questionable decision. It's just great. It's just great. Post Ennie's lobby, this is, I think, the main thing that you see here, obviously, is Ace versus Blackbeard. Which was like kind of setting the stage for Ace to get captured, which was kind of, whoa. But yes, I kind of did enjoy this. It was really cool. I really liked that fight. I don't really like Blackbeard, but I really enjoy Ace as a character. I think I'm gonna put it at B though, just because, post Ennie's lobby, they kind of just, meet up with Robin and stuff and things, and everybody starts going out to sea, and we're happy and we're jolly, and this is kind of just the big point that happens. Thriller Bark, where you meet Brook, where you meet Gecko Moria, where this moment right here, where nothing happens but something happens, S tier. Just because of this moment right here, Okay, A tier. Just because of this moment right here, it's up here. But aside from that, I don't really care for Gecko Moria. Brook is funny. Love the addition of Brook. I love the funny moments that they have in this arc. However, there is a lot that, you know, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of in the arc. Zombie Luffy or whatever, that Dark Luffy, whatever it was, I didn't really enjoy. Like, it was cool, but at the same time I was like, this is happening, you know? This is happening. Sabori Archipelago. Damn. This has to be S tier. The pain in Luffy's heart when everybody was getting popped, the bubble sequence that was happening as these people were getting launched the fuck away was crazy to me. This was just wild. It was just wild as fuck, right? But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. This is where everybody was like, damn, Luffy. Especially when Robin asked Luffy for help and Luffy was powerless in the face of Kuma. Fuck, that one really did a number on me. Then we have Amazon Lily, where we meet Boa Hancock. Where Boa Hancock's like, hey, yo, Luffy, come here. And Luffy's like, nah, gang, give me some meat. Pause. But I don't know. Amazon Lily was really cool. It kind of sets up the fact that Luffy has Conqueror's Haki. It sets up the fact that, you know, Rayleigh is now involved in training Luffy. I believe we see Jinbei here as well. They start asking these people for help. Boa Hancock again is like, hey, yo, Luffy, just come here, you know, handle my business, come here. And I think it sets up Boa Hancock as like that gag character for Luffy, and I think it's really funny. Now what is this? Oh, this is everybody else's stuff that's going down, which okay, if I'm being honest, some of it I didn't really enjoy, so I have to put it in C tier. Like, I couldn't care less what Usopp was doing. The fact that Usopp gained weight kind of really annoyed me, because I mean, it might have been depression weight, you know, but that's cool. Brook was now in a cage and he was starting to go crazy, selling copies of his album or whatever, being a SoundCloud rapper. There was just a lot that was going on. Zoro with Mihawk was actually pretty cool. Although I do have my qualms with that. Like, I get it, right? I don't know. I don't really remember why Kuma sent these people where he did. If it was random, I can't remember that detail. But the fact that Zoro had to ask Mihawk to train him, I don't know. I kind of wish that they would have not met again until Zoro had to surpass Mihawk later in the story, which still hasn't happened, but you know, it's definitely something that will happen eventually. And I kind of wish that they held off with Mihawk, or if he saw Mihawk in passing and Mihawk was like, I'll kill you, stop talking to me. I don't know. I just wish that they did something different there. However, you know, it is what it is, and it's not necessarily bad. Now we have Impelled Down, which I actually like because you see a lot more of Blackbeard gathering the crew. You see this Warden guy. You see Ivankov. You see Luffy again, as well as Buggy. You see Crocodile. You see a lot. And I actually really like it, and I like the fact, you know, they had that escape. But I think it was a really high tier. Now Marineford, we can't act like Marineford isn't an S tier arc 100%. Everything about Marineford was great. The only, you know, cooler thing would have been if Shanks threw a little bit of hands. However, he ended the war. Crazy that Whitebeard got jumped like he did. Fucking wild to me, but you know, it was crazy. Ace's death really affected Luffy once again. Wait, hold on. I think I might have gotten mixed up, because in Amazon Lily, Luffy does not talk to Rayleigh or Jinbei. That's only after Marineford, when he loses to Akainu, because I know he has that burn scar. So then post-war is where he meets Rayleigh as well as everybody else, and then he tells everybody, hey, fuck this 3-day shit, like, I'll see y'all in 2 years. 2 years, like, this is crazy. He spent more time with Rayleigh than he did his entire crew thus far in the story, even now, like, even in Wano, which is wild. But you know, he does come back stronger. I really like the time skip stuff that everybody has, so I think I just think it's better. I had these two mixed up, so excuse me. If you're in the comments, you know, typing mad aggressively, I saw what I did wrong. Now please. Return to Saobody. This was cool. I have my qualms with it, mainly because like I mentioned, character designs is a really big thing for me. And then we had that fake Luffy, that fake, everybody, that fake Straw Hat gang. And then everybody was like, oh, damn, that's a Straw Hats. Don't fuck with them. Like, did y'all not see the wanted posters? What? I don't understand how you compare these two beings and you're like, yep, he looks exactly like the wanted poster. Now, I know, I wouldn't believe that a wanted poster look exactly like a person, but at the same time, those are just pictures. Like, those are just pictures. Stop. These weren't drawings. These were pictures of these characters. It disgusts me. But then when Kuma shot that laser and Luffy like easily weaved it, that shit was cool. Then we have Fishman Island, which it's cool, right? But at the same time, I don't really like it. It's all right, but there are some things on Fishman Island we don't talk about. If you know, you know. I don't know. It's not necessarily the coolest thing for me, but I didn't really. It's there. It happened. Move on. You have Punk Hazard. I think Punk Hazard was really cool. You have Caesar the Clown, chilling, doing science. Zoro fights against that. What's her name? That like hawk looking lady. I don't know. It's really cool though. And then you get introduced to Law, and Law fights against that one guy that has steak on his face that uses armament hockey. And I'm not entirely sure how much armament hockey has been like in the story up until then, but I think that's where they introduce like more the importance of hockey. Dressrosa, or in Fishman Island, I know they do a lot with hockey too. Dressrosa, come on. Gear 4, come on. Come on. This is crazy. It's incredible. I love Doflamingo. Doflamingo is one of my favorite villains in all of One Piece. The fight that he had. I don't really like a lot of Doflamingo's gang, like the drool guy or the glue, whatever. But I like Frankie's fight against that guy that's in the diaper or in the underwear and the thing. It just incredible. Just a lot of good fights that I really enjoy. And you see Sabo. You see Sabo again. And Sabo gets the flame fruit. And that was really cool. And Luffy almost cried. And I almost cried too a little bit. Now we have Zoe, where you're getting ready to fight Big Mom. Which I didn't really mind. The minks are cool. Dog, cat, whatever. I forget their names. Those are really cool. Aside from that, it just kind of happens, You see this really big elephant and you're like, whoa. But then, okay. Half of them go to Whole Cake Island. Another half of them just don't, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that Dressrosa? I don't really remember how that happened. I think Dressrosa only Zoro. No, Zoro didn't go to Dressrosa. Did he? Yeah, Zoro. No, Zoro did because he cut Pika. Who else went? Frankie, obviously. Robin went. I don't think Nami went. I know Usopp went. I don't think Sanji went to Dressrosa. Yeah, no, I don't really remember that. But yeah, Zoe, they kind of, I don't know. It's the setup for Whole Cake Island. Sanji ends up leaving afterwards, I think, to Whole Cake Island. Stuff happens. I forget exactly how that happens. This is why I need to reread it. But then Whole Cake Island's fucking gas. The fight against Katakuri. The fight against Cracker. Gear 4 Snake Man. The fight against Sanji. Even though it's not necessarily a fight, it's just Sanji being a bully. Incredible. Now we have the rest of Whole Cake Island, which it's okay, right? It's good, it's fine. They escape, they leave, and it's fine, it's cool, And then from here, you're setting up to fight both Kaido, and I don't know if they're aware, but at this point, they're fighting Big Mom as well. They get ready to go from Whole Cake Island, to Wano, where it's like, you know what? We just need to take this man Kaido down. And currently, Wano is S tier, and it might be really fucking high S tier because you have Gear 5. You have that other hockey thing that's kind of like Conquerors, but like you coat your, I don't know, it's weird. I don't really understand hockey to a like significant degree. But you have Zoro fighting against King. You have Sanji fighting against Queen. You have Marco. You have. I wish they did more with Chopper as a doctor because I feel like Chopper was just a stopgap, which is fine. But I don't know. The fact that he didn't do too much kind of irks me. You have Kid. You have Law fighting against Big Mom, ringing out Big Mom. Then you have the fact that Luffy got one shot. And then he almost got one shot again. And then he starts throwing hands. And then he gets sent into the water. And then everybody's like, damn, we're gonna lose. And then Luffy's like, hey, I can speak telepathically now. I'm good. I'm chilling. He's talking to Momonoke or whatever, Momonosuke. And like, yo, it's just incredible arc, incredible storytelling. One Piece is I'm such a fan. If you don't like One Piece, I completely understand why you wouldn't. It is a tall task, but I promise if you get into it, it's crazy good. If you do enjoy One Piece, just let me know in the comment section below. But this is all correct. If you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. Again, this is objective, but they're also facts because I've never been wrong before in my life. And I will talk to you on the next one.